It's the Braves Central podcast. Barrett, Sallee, and Chris Dimino with you again. The Braves cap off a 5-1 homestand with a dramatic win on Wednesday afternoon. Chris, of course, Eli White is the savior for this team as they go off to Arizona.
Yeah, if you had him on your bingo card, congratulations, because you were the only one.
Right.
That was a big payout yesterday if you had Eli White. What was really interesting to me is actually the way they played it. You know, they played it with strategy, not using Verdugo at that point, and letting Eli White hit and saving Verdugo in case you needed him later in the game, because I think Brian Snitker was right. If he came up, they were going to intentionally walk him and save the bullet if it ends up being a 1-1 game at the end of 8, and have Verdugo ready to go in another spot that might actually make more sense. And then, of course, Eli White goes probably deeper than he's ever gone. I don't know. I don't want to go crazy and say mark the seat at Truist Park forever like he was Willie Stargell with Ted Williams in Fenway, but maybe they should paint wherever that ball landed, because I don't think Eli White could do that in BP if he tried for the next month.
Yeah, I said on Atlanta Braves today actually, that they play games, they do targets, they do all that stuff in batting practice, and he's never done that. I mean, he's never gone to the Hank Aaron terrace, but it was awesome to see. And it kind of goes back to something that we've talked about on the Ford Leadoff Show quite a bit, that this team now has checked the box of being able to come back late.
Yeah.
They have that in their arsenal, and it's the 8th inning yet again. And that's a huge bullet to have in your chamber going out to Arizona, then going to Colorado, because even if you don't have your A game, even if you don't have a B game, those teams can be had. Those bullpens can be had. So it was all around, I think, a fantastic homestand. If you go 5-1 and the one is a bullpen game that you didn't even expect to be a bullpen game because your ace got hurt the day before, that's about as much as you can ask for.
Yeah, I don't know if you said it exactly this way or not, but you know, if you try to go with but who did they beat? You know, I'm going to quote what might not actually be a quote from Pete Rose. I don't care if you hit 300 in the chicken shit league, you hit 300. You go 5-1 on the homestand. I don't care who it's against, because you got to bank wins any place you can. A win against the Dodgers is no more valuable than a win against the St. Louis Cardinals. You know, once you start adding them up, how you feel about them could be different. But the reality of the win itself is they're all the same. The losses are all the same. I joke about grading on a curve. This was a series or two at home that the Braves just needed to do what they just did. Hell or high water. It didn't matter who they were playing. They just needed to do this. And now, I agree with you. We have talked about it. The idea that you've got this in your arsenal now, you can come back. You have roster type. You know, you have roster type wins over the last week and a half, where you went a little bit deeper into your roster, see Eli White, see a couple of guys out of the bullpen. And then the other story, because Eli White hits a bomb, it's probably not going to be talked about, is Bryce Elder. You know, what he did is, my concession was 5 innings, 4 runs, find a way to score some runs, fella. It was certainly a lot better than that.
Yeah, we talk about the Bryce Elder experience. It's, he always sort of teeters on that edge, and then he gives up that home run to make it a 4-run inning or a 3-run inning. And it looked like they were going down that road, that he was going down that road yet again in that first inning, and found a way to get out of it. And then at that point, it seemed like he trusted his stuff a little bit more, and that sort of got him to settle down. I think with Michael Harris, being back in that leadoff spot for that final game after hitting 6th or 7th, depending on the day, earlier in the series, he has not been successful in that leadoff spot, but he was yesterday. That, to me, Michael Harris getting hot. We've seen how much he can carry a team. He did it last year toward the end of the season. Going into a hitter's park, that's definitely a good sign, knowing that at some point soon you're going to get Ronald back.
So I was a little bit surprised that Verdugo was not playing, but at the end of the day, when you put Michael Harris back up to the leadoff spot, we know the numbers have not been good. It was great to see that happen. My guess is Verdugo starts as early as tomorrow, and Michael Harris is not going to be a leadoff hitter. But it was good to see him hitting in an opportunity, and we talk about it, even in a low-scoring game. Your hot hitters, your best hitters, if you can get them one more at bat when a day is going well, that's what happened. Michael Harris comes up with a big hit late. And I guess, the Eli White bomb is going to be the thing that everybody's talked about. But you had to get a run up on the board to make it a 1-1 game. And, that sort of gets lost in the shuffle. Bryce Elder a little bit gets lost in the shuffle. But it was one of those games where you go, I got the wrong leadoff hitter because he hadn't been a good leadoff hitter so far. I got the guy sitting that I think I was not really expecting to sit in Verdugo. And then Bryce Elder throws the way that he did yesterday. And I agree with you about, Sean Newcomb drove me crazy. Yeah, he was the king of the nibbler. And I said, he's gonna nibble his way out of baseball. Nobody, I used to joke, drag him in front of a full-length mirror and say, look at you nibble? I think Bryce Elder all of a sudden has to learn that lesson, that I'd rather get beat with stuff than actually just say, well, I'm a little bit afraid of this and I'm a little bit afraid of that. Brother, you got nothing to lose. The whole world expects 5 innings, 4 runs. Why don't you actually change a little bit and go back to attacking the way that we saw him do a couple of years ago?
Yeah, and you have it. You can see that he has it in him. That's the most frustrating part. Is that look? I'm not a Bryce Elder defender. I thought AJ Smith-Shawver should have taken that spot. But you look at him and you know it's there. You mentioned Sean Newcomb. Sean Newcomb's what, into his 7th year, 8th year now. I mean, it's he has it in him. And maybe it was yesterday where he figured out, okay, finally, gotta trust my stuff. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it is there.
There is a point where you've got to play the I've got nothing to lose card, right? If you keep banging your head against the wall, you're just banging your head against the wall. And if you tell me, well, you get numb to it, well, baseball doesn't get numb to the idea that you give up 4 runs every 5 innings. You give up a home run, and a 2 quick out inning all of a sudden turns into a 2 or 3 run inning. I'm changing up everything at that point. And look, Bryce Elder's he's as nice a guy, and I bring this up for a reason. He's as nice a guy as there is. He's quiet. I don't think he's overly aggressive. He's got the same high school buddies. I've talked to him a lot. It was a golfer mentality. Well, I think probably if I'm Rick Kranitz or somebody in that clubhouse, I show him this, and I go, do you know that this could have gone awfully wrong for you? Whatever it is you did mentally, not even physically, mentally, whatever it is you did yesterday, that's what you have to go to the mound with every game. And if you get in trouble, you know you can get out of it. So hopefully there's I don't think there's a switch that you flip, but if there's going to be a mindset change, maybe yesterday could be a little bit of a marking point for Bryce Elder.
And now they go out west to take on the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. Another chance, especially in the Rockies series, to start banking some wins. And, the pitching matchups, we don't know exactly what it'll be for the D-backs, but Chris Sale going on Friday night for the Braves. I want to see him in the 6th inning. I don't care I want to see him in the 6th inning. If he's there in the 6th inning, then something went right.
Well, I'm going to tell you what you better look for, because Corbin Carroll is Corbin Carroll. He's a young guy that all of a sudden fell off a little bit last year, and everybody said, well, there goes that, or at least he's struggling in a way that younger guys do, even if you're a rookie of the year type guy. Well, he's got 9 home runs now. He hit 2 yesterday. So Corbin Carroll is bona fide. Like, he is talented. We knew he was talented, but it looks like whatever it is he needed to have happen to him this year has happened, certainly for the month of April. He becomes the big guy in the lineup, the guy that you, again, don't want to beat you. But if Arizona plays it right, there's going to be moments where he gets that chance. And you're either going to pitch around him a little bit or you're going to challenge him. And right now he's the type of player that if you challenge him, there's a good chance nothing good is going to happen for you.
Well, we'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Chris, of course, you have the duty, I guess, of being at TPC Sugarloaf with that beautiful view behind you.
This is not my house. This is not Casa La Dimino in the background here.
I think before or after your show, you need to go out there and just try to sneak on like 16, 15. Like, I mean, look, I know it's an actual PGA golf tournament. Yeah. I mean, you can pass for a PGA.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to end up in awful announcing. The guy tried to play a hole during a Pro-Am event before the event itself. So I'll probably just skedaddle out of here and enjoy the day off like everybody in Atlanta. One other thing, the home run stuff that's happened for the Braves, keep an eye on this. Remember, you go to Colorado, and I look at 2 things in Colorado. It's such a big field that we don't talk about doubles enough. We don't even talk about the potential for triples enough. But you got to play really good outfield defense. And I'm kind of curious to see how Snit wants to play the outfield defense part of it. We'll get to that after the Arizona series, but it is the type of park that you think about 2 things. Gap power, not home run power. You can actually take advantage by hitting doubles. And the other thing is, it's big out there. Who are your 3 in the outfield? And you got to certainly ask them to help your pitchers a little bit by cutting off balls into the gap as quickly as possible, or else stuff can accumulate before the home runs actually happen.
That's exactly right. All right, 5 out of 6 going out to the desert. This has been the Braves Central podcast. Subscribe, review, share it, do all of that stuff. Hey, if you're watching, if you're listening, you know how to do the podcast thing. So tell your family member, tell your friend how to do the podcast thing, and let them know about Braves Central. He's Chris. I'm Barrett. We'll talk to you next. Yes, go ahead.
Barrett, the next time we get together, I'm going to do a critique of everything in your background, because during COVID, I will admit this. I was one of those guys who said, oh, look, everybody's going to get their awards or their kids' drawings or stuff that they've accumulated. I think next time around, if you do this right in front of this, we'll do a quick look around and see, what do I think he might have moved there before this podcast actually began?
Most of it is always there, actually.
Okay.
I got some new bobblehead. The Chipper bobblehead is not up here yet because my son stole it, and I need to steal it back from him. So that will be up here. But this Chipper autographed helmet is one of my prizes.
Listen, it's a nice setup. It's clean. It's got a lot of things going for it. I'm just not really sure that I don't believe that at some point you said, oh, wait, let me move this over here and let me move this over here. We'll see.
Since I'm now at 680 The Fan, my wife has taken over a lot. So they have a lot of these papers, these Disney travel agent things that she's got all over the place. So yeah, she's kind of taken over. But
all right, next time around, I'll give you a quick. I'll grade it, and I'll tell you what I think might have been the phony move.
All right.
Put something into the picture that wasn't there beforehand.
That sounds good. All right. This has been Brave Central. Again, share, write, review, all that stuff. He's Chris. I'm Barrett. We'll talk to you next time.